Alternative way to find the strike in the geologic geometry questions, and the one I'm going to use to explain that is the 2013 geologic geometry question, okay, and in particular the part C. Okay, so what we have for this is we have on the map P, Q, and R are 3 points on the surface of the Earth. Vertical boreholes are drilled at these 3 points, and they're shown in the elevation. In the space provided in the map, they reveal the top surface of the stratum of ore at distances of 5 meters, 35 meters, and 10 meters below P, Q, and R. Draw the plan the elevation of the stratum and then determine the strike in the dip. So what they're saying there is that P, Q, and R aren't outcrops, so we have to drill straight down at these distances to be able to see what height each one are at. So what we have with it then is, here in my solution, you'll see we have 55 here, and they drill down 5 meters. So we have this first one is down at 50. Okay, when we get to the height, we have 55, and it was coming down 35 millimeters, so we're down, or 35 meters, so we're at 20, and then 40 here comes down, and we had to drill down 10, so we're at 30. Okay, so at these points then we have P is at 50, Q, so P, when we're looking in the plan here, P is at 50, Q is at 20, and R, there's just a mistake in my solution here, R is at 30. Okay, now what we would normally do from this is we would draw our horizontal line across, so our level line, bring it down to where it hits in the plan, and then join it back up to R, which will give us our strike. Okay, normally that's not a problem, and in this question that works. But there are questions which I'll look at later in this video where you don't have space to draw the elevation, and you don't really need to draw the elevation because it doesn't ask for it. So what we have here is that if we have a look at the sides here, if you have the point P and Q here at 50 and at 20, we know that as this line goes down, it's falling at a constant rate because it's a straight line. So I know that if it goes between 50 and 20, I know that there's going to be intermediate points between that. So I'm going to have 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, and 20. So what I can do is, because that's a constant, I can use my division of the line construction to divide up this line into the number of distances that are in between 50 and 20. Okay, so in this case, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 6 different ones that we need to divide it up into 5. So I divide it up using division line construction, line out from the side, divide that up into our 6, join back the last one, and then go parallel. And what you have then is you have points that are 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. And what that allows me to do is that I could do this question then using this construction where I join 30 up to R, because that's what height R is at. And that gives me my strike, because all of this, the strike is just a level line across our laminar plane here, or our stratum. Okay, when it comes to doing it. So I know that R is at 30. I know that this point on the other side is at 30. So I can just join up through those, and they will give me my strike. Okay. Now, let's say in this question you could use either way to do it because of the fact that you had the elevation, but there are other questions where you don't. For example, if I go down here to the 2011 one, okay, in the 2011 one, what we were given, now without going into the question, we were told that we have E here, we have F, and we have G. They're outcrop points, they're on the lines here. So we have G is at 70, we have F is at 80, okay, so coming from 70 and our 80 contours. And we have E is at 65, which is coming from our 65 contours. Okay, so what I could do here, because I don't have space for an elevation, is I know that between E and F, that's 80 to 65, I know that there are 3 different divisions. So if I divide it up using my division of the line construction, I can get 65, I can get 70, I can get 75, and I get each one of those points. Again, because that's a straight line and there's a constant, it has a constant slope. And what I can do then is, instead of trying to draw an elevation, is I know that the 70 point here will join up to the 70 point from G. That will give me my level line that I would have drawn in the elevation anyway. And that gives me my strike, because that now is my level line. Then obviously the dip, and if it looked for thickness, would be the same. Okay, the same as it would have been before, but that would be finding the strike. Other examples of that are in the 2010 question. There was the same thing. So the same thing, finding the strike using division line construction, and then finding my dip and finding my thickness. Same thing again happens in the 2009 question. Okay, so that then is where we, and just another way of drawing these questions.